Global markets are digesting a strange mix today, a record-breaking private equity deal in gaming, political gridlock threatening a U.S. shutdown, and airlines collapsing under pressure. At the same time, corporate scandals are forcing reckonings while legacy players like Sony are reinventing themselves around new strategies. My name is Eniola Lunge, and here's today's Zoom Out for September 29, where I help you see the bigger picture. A consortium led by Jared Kushner's affinity partners in Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund has agreed to buy Electronic Arts in a $55 billion leveraged buyout, the largest LBO in history. The deal will take EA private and marks one of the boldest bets ever placed on the future of gaming. It also signals a major revival moment for private equity, which has been relatively quiet in recent years. Financing such a massive deal signals that capital markets are once again opening the doors for transformative, debt-fueled acquisitions. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? When money is willing to stack leverage this high, it shows that ambition is back. But with deals this size, execution will decide whether history remembers it as vision or overreach. In Washington, the clock is ticking toward an October 1 deadline to avoid a government shutdown. A lapse would freeze key economic data, including September's payrolls report, and furlough critical federal workers. For now, stocks remain resilient, but gold has surged to a record as investors hedge against the uncertainty. Airlines are also warning that regulatory gaps could cause travel disruptions. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? Shutdowns rarely change the economy, but they do cloud the picture. In markets, confidence depends as much on information as on fundamentals, and when feasibility goes dark, investors pay a premium for safety. Icelandic budget airline Play abruptly ceased operations, leaving thousands of travelers stranded across Europe and the US. The carrier blamed weak ticket sales and a failed strategic pivot, making it the second Icelandic low-cost airline to collapse in just 6 years after WOW Air. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? Ultra low-cost aviation works until it doesn't. When margins are razor thin and demand wobbles, even a small miscalculation can ground the entire business. The founder of student financial aid startup Frank was sentenced to more than 7 years in prison for defrauding JPMorgan of $175 million after the company acquired Frank based on inflated customer data in 2021. The case is one of the most high-profile startup frauds in recent memory, wiping millions of JPMorgan's books and shaking confidence in how quickly banks move on flashy fintech targets. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? The era of easy hype in startups is ending. Investors and acquirers are shifting from growth at all costs to show me the receipts. Trust and transparency are now non-negotiable. Sony has laid out a new strategic vision to become an entertainment trading house. The Japanese conglomerate is shifting away from its legacy as a hardware-first company, aiming instead to acquire and license intellectual property across music, gaming, and film. The move reframes content as the tradable asset at the core of its business. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? Content is no longer just king, it's currency. In an age where IP drives streaming, gaming, and global fandom, Sony is betting that stories and characters will outlast devices. So the bottom line is this. From the largest buyout in history to Sony's strategic pivot, from Washington's shutdown drama to aviation and fintech failures, today's stories are bound by one theme: reinvention under pressure. Some actors are seizing the moment with bold bets, while others are unraveling under scrutiny or weak demand. The global economy doesn't reward standing still. In 2025, survival belongs to those who can adapt and adapt quickly.